All right, we're talking a little bit about the final thing, which is Cloud Functions, which are the way to write, let's call it backend code. You know, it's like serverless, which is basically other people's servers, for running code that you, like right now, everything we have done has been in the client, except maybe security rules. I guess security rules technically haven't, but everything else has been in the client. One thing, if you don't already have them installed, is just there's a library for Firebase Functions, which should have been in that npm install, and Firebase Admin, which is a way to do administrative things, right, without the security policies in place on your backend code. So when we did the Firebase init earlier, some of the groundwork was already laid for us. We have this functions folder, which has its own package JSON. You can put anything from npm in there that you need. If you need to do other stuff, you can go ahead and do that, right? On the free plan, and this could change at any moment, but like as of this writing, on the free plan, you can't call third-party APIs. You can call any Google API, which is pretty legit, like the facial recognition API. So you can like take a photo and do like facial recognition. Any other Google API you can call, but I think if you wanted to like use SendGrid to send an email, I think you have to be on the pay-as-you-go plan for that one, which is fine. I mean, if you're at the point where you're trying to do all that stuff, like maybe it makes sense to like the pay-as-you-go plan is still pretty cheap. There's like cost calculators. It's pretty cool. But you can install any npm package you want in there, right? And so we're going to stick to mostly just vanilla JavaScript in this case, but any package that you want to use to do anything like ImageMagick for resizing images, right? You could totally do that so that you can respond to let's call it one of two things. That second one is many things. HTTPS requests, so you can effectively make an API. And then also you can listen for things that happen in Firebase. Okay, I'm listening to this collection. Whenever a document gets added, I want to do this. Or whenever a document gets changed, I want to do this other thing. So if you did need to store information in multiple places, you can say like, okay, this is a hypothetical, whenever the user changes their name, I want to find all of the posts that have their name in it and change that too, right? Because it's an interesting thing in the way that we structure our database, which is you could have a user profile and you could have that UID in the post, but then every time you wanted to get the user's information, you would have to go ahead and like query for that document as well, which will cost you a query. Or when they write that post, because how often does the user change their username? Right? Or even their photo, and if it doesn't happen immediately, fine, right? You can batch it to like once a week, right? You can include all that information in the post. That's now one request, right? And so you can then write a cloud function so if they do change it, then I do want to go back through and do it. But that's way better than trying to do it on every single request. If it's like a blogging platform, more people are probably reading that blog post than the user is changing their username. Like by orders of magnitude, right? So Cloud Function let you to either A, handle HTTP requests, or B, they allow you to listen for changes to Firestore, new files uploaded, a new user created through the auth system. Anything along those lines you can hook into and have that trigger you doing stuff. We're going to start with the built-in example, just to get a sense of how this works. So you can see we've got this functions library here. And we also have this little example function. And you can see this is functions. I'm going to uncomment this one for a second. Functions.helloworld, or exports.helloworld is functions HTTPS on request. And if you ever use like Express or anything like that, this should look very familiar. It's a request object and a response object. And this response is sending hello from Firebase. So we've uncommented that one.